morning, Dubai. This is the Lovin Dubai show with me, Casey.
And me, Masa.
And we go through the trending stories that everyone is talking about. Big news for students in government schools. Some exams are being cancelled.
And Dubai is adding a new millionaire every hour in 2025.
We have the proposed date for Ramadan 26.
And the Lovin Dubai Community Awards 2025, we have get your votes in right now.
We're talking about someone who racked up 480,000 dirham bill at a DIFC restaurant.
And later on the show, we're going to be joined by Dr. Wafa Saoud. She's going to be helping parents easing back to school stress.
And in today's rapid weather report, it's mostly cloudy, actually, with temperatures ranging from 33 to 42 degrees. We're going to kick off the show with some sad news. Just through in the last 12 hours, the sad death of Judge Frank Caprio. You may recognize him from a show he had called Caught in Providence. He was a famous TV judge. I showed you his footage and you just...
Yeah, as soon as he showed me, because I didn't recognize him by name, but as soon as I saw his picture, I remembered all of the videos that I saw on my feed or on YouTube. He is such a sweet soul.
He's known as the nicest judge in the world. He really is.
And he was always super friendly and he was always super nice and he would always consider people's circumstances and feelings.
Yes.
And he will always be remembered as this sweet person or this judge that touched people's hearts. So may he rest in peace. Allah yarhamu. I wish him the best. And it's so sad to see that the last video he shared was pray for me. But I feel like he'll always be remembered. Like he's a memory. Even if he's not remembered by name, but with picture, he's going to be embedded in people's minds from how touching his videos were and how touching his interaction with the cases were.
Right, and even though his show was in the States, he'll be remembered around the world. He was in Dubai not too long ago and he had such a big fan following that people were going up in Dubai Mall to meet him. And he shared that video that you mentioned from his hospital bed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he passed away from pancreatic cancer. And his
heart.
video said, pray for me and keep me in your prayers and remember me. And
he'll always be remembered.
He'll always be remembered.
Oh, may his soul rest in peace.
His soul rest in peace. It is Thursday morning. We've got some big shows coming up.
But it's your birthday today.
Oh, yeah.
It's Casey's birthday today. Happy birthday,
Thank
Casey.
you very much. 36 years young.
The celebration.
Christmas celebrations.
What do you have? What is basically like what are you planning to do this weekend? The big celebration.
I feel... before I answer this, what type of birthday celebrant are you? Are you like a month-long extravaganza, like it's my birthday month?
A week.
A week?
Or 3 days.
Or 3 days. I feel like I'm really excited to do very little. I have like a very low...
A lot of people like that, by the way. They like to unwind during their birthday.
I'd have a very quiet, low-key, maybe a pool day.
Nice, I like that. Okay.
I'm looking for pool days, by the way. I'm thinking one at the One and Only, but if anyone has like a really nice, relaxed, we're not looking for a party. I'm not looking for like heels on a beach situation, like very quiet. The quietest pool day you can imagine. Send me your suggestions, please.
You can go to Abu Dhabi. There is a lot of those. They're very similar to that desert kind of hotels like the Ritz-Carlton, but in Abu Dhabi. It's 2 hours away. Okay, you feel like you got out of the city. You feel like you went somewhere.
Yeah.
But the pool access, I just wish I can remember the name. I will Google it for you. The pool access was $150 per person, and it's amazing.
Okay, so it's worth the 2 hours.
Yeah.
Something about birthdays, like I feel like there's just so many like there's these awkward things that happen throughout the day.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, and you mentioned this thing earlier before the show, and I was like, is it an ick for you? Like, so some people will put your photo on Instagram and they'll tag you and they'll say happy birthday, which is a really nice thing to do.
It's so cute. I love when people do that. It's so cute. Haram.
And then you have to make that internal decision whether you repost. And it's an internal decision that you make, no?
Yeah, it is an internal decision. Like, you don't know if you should repost or you should, because
or do you
want
just
to
like
thank
it?
them. You want to thank them, but you don't want to seem ungrateful. But at the same time, it's so embarrassing.
Is it showy offy?
It's not like it's showy off. It's a bit embarrassing for you to repost those stories, in my opinion.
You said this before the show, by the way. I don't actually agree it's embarrassing. I don't think so. Like, and I'm pretty like awkward. I think things are embarrassing, but I don't think that's embarrassing.
I don't know. I feel like imagine you're going through someone's story and it's just reposts of their birthday. You know, like okay, enjoy your day. I would only do it if I like the picture.
But how else, honestly, like 10 years ago, and speaking to Gen Z, 10 years ago, I knew it was everyone's birthday because of Facebook.
True.
Facebook, no one gets the reminders anymore. And so I only know it's someone's birthday, and I actually messaged someone because it was their birthday in the last few days because I saw them resharing. 2 people in the last few days. I messaged, said happy birthday because I saw they'd reshared the happy birthday post. And if they hadn't done that, I would never have messaged these people, I guess.
That's also a good point, by the way. But like the only time I repost my birthday wishes is that if we were already celebrating, for example, let's say I'm celebrating right now with you and I have the cake in front of me and someone took a picture and posted it on their Instagram story, that's the picture I would repost.
Sorry, you're going to have to go through that again. If they took a picture and put it on their Instagram story.
Yeah, while we're celebrating, while we're out, or we took pictures together.
Oh, if it's an old one.
But if it's an old one, I wouldn't repost it.
I have a theory about people who put up, they pick really nice pictures of themselves.
Yeah, that's so true.
And you're always looking at the photos of like the person who's posting that, they've just posted a really nice photo of themselves.
And I'm just there.
And yeah, exactly. The birthday person is like in the background, like barely in the photo, but you're looking fabulous. And you're like, this is an excuse to repost my nice photo. Because sometimes when you're posting on Instagram, it's because you want certain people to see it, so you post really nice pictures of yourself. But that's fair enough. That's just the way internet is. So I now cannot repost any nice photos.
You can. I feel like, you know what, for the people that want to wish like their friend a happy birthday, I think maybe do it during a celebration. It's always nice to repost those pictures, in my opinion. I love reposting pictures from the day of the celebration.
There's so many rules.
So many rules, by the way. Just do whatever makes you feel happy.
Yeah, thank God we're not in school anymore.
Yeah, thank God we're not in school.
The social media rule book is just endless and constantly changing. Speaking of schools and social media, we have an update on government schools.
So UAE cancels second term exams to reduce student stress. So big news for students and parents. The UAE Ministry of Education has announced that second term exams will be scrapped starting from the 2025 to 2026 academic year. So instead of the stressful mid-year test, schools will adopt continuous assessment system to evaluate students' progress throughout the year.
Under the new plan, centralised exams will only take place in the first and third terms, with a stronger focus on well-being, learning and critical thinking rather than just memorisation and high-pressure testing, which sounds amazing.
So the move is part of the ministry's ongoing education reform aimed at reducing exam-related stress and creating a more balanced and effective learning environment for students across the country. Why are those really nice and really good decisions being made after I was done with school? They used to stress me out so much.
Good question. However,
we were the test.
You were the test, but it is amazing to see schools putting more emphasis and focus on critical thinking rather than memorization.
We used to do that all the time. We just used to memorize everything. I would memorize the book, the page, the whole page. I would memorize it.
Really?
If you asked me, I would say it word by word.
What subject, what age?
So throughout my school years, all of them, specifically in high school, so I would memorize it.
Really?
Yes. So science, history, everything.
I think it was more when I was younger, like the times tables, 2 by 2 is 4.
Yeah, but like if you have, I would memorize it. That's the only way I could get good grades. Because I feel like this is what I felt. Like when we had to go and do those exams, I felt like the teachers expected a certain answer. Like you can't go beyond or outside the box. You have to answer exactly what they want to see. So that's why I would memorize it.
Tricky one.
Things changed.
You know, I think, so there'll be less exams which will take the pressure off. But at the end of the day, I always kind of applaud when an education system takes moves to change, because I think in a lot of countries they don't.
Yeah.
And some of the systems are so archaic and nothing changes. So it is amazing to see this push in the government schools, and obviously in the private schools kind of, they play their own tunes. Let's jump into our next story. So when you study, do you become a millionaire? I'm not sure. Dubai is adding a new millionaire every hour in 2025. It may feel like winter is coming, but the millionaires certainly are. Dubai is shifting from being not just a luxury stopover to a top destination for global wealth, according to a Better Homes report. So no longer a pit stop, but the finish line for global wealth.
So by December 2024, Dubai had 81,200 residents millionaires, making up for the part of the UAE's 130,500 millionaires, a 98% 100% rise in the past decade.
Phenomenal.
God.
In 2025, with 142,000 millionaires expected to move worldwide, even if 5% choose Dubai, that will be 7,100 new wealthy residents and almost 7.1 billion in new in money coming into the country.
So why Dubai? If you need to ask, Dubai turns rich newcomers into long-term residents with clear rules, plus zero personal income tax, safe streets, modern buildings, top schools and hospitals, a USD-pegged currency, making it easier for families to stay.
When did the secret get out?
Oh God,
And are we to blame?
I feel like we are to blame because we Lovin Dubai shows to blame. I wanted to gatekeep Dubai forever, but
Did you know, by the way,
that this is what's going to happen?
No, but I think we all feel such a privilege now to live here.
I don't want to share it anymore.
And have you always kind of known that this was the place you wanted to be?
All my life. So I was raised here. I went to school here, had my whole education here, lived my whole life here, childhood memories here. I've always known that I'm never going to leave this place.
Dubai is like a chameleon. It's ever changing, but it's also
I just
feels like
love
home.
it. It feels like home, and I love it. And I feel like I'm so attached to the city. Like any time anyone would suggest moving abroad, I would have this big reaction. No, I am not leaving the city. I'm like, people are coming here. There's a reason why people are coming here. I will not up and leave. No. I'm so attached to the city. But you know what's coming? Ramadan is coming.
I can't believe these dates. I really can't.
Yeah, so Ramadan 2026 is expected to begin on February 17th. So according to astronomical calculations, Ramadan 2026 is predicted to start on Tuesday, February 17 across most Arab countries. So, but as always, the official start in the UAE will depend on the sighting of the crescent moon, which will be confirmed on the 29th of Sha'ban.
So looking ahead, Eid al-Fitr is expected to fall on March 18th or 19th, 2026, depending, of course, on whether Ramadan lasts for 29 or 30 days. If Eid is confirmed for Thursday, March 19th, residents could enjoy a 4-day weekend. Let's look at those long weekends a bit closer to the time, but it would be one of the longest Eid breaks in recent years.
So this means families and communities can already start planning ahead for a spiritually rewarding month, as well as festive long weekends to mark Eid. So Ramadan is it's coming earlier by year, but you know what? You know what? We're enjoying this winter Ramadan vibes.
Yes.
Yeah. At first, I was upset because I'm like, I like to enjoy my Ramadan evening. I like to enjoy my winter days here, but last year it was so fun to have those like evening iftar outside with really nice wind, with a nice sunset, with beautiful skies. It was so nice. I'm excited for this year.
So true.
But we're excited for something else though. The Lovin Dubai Community Awards!
2025, the first ever. We announced this on Monday, and to date, over 5,000 votes have already been cast. 10 incredible categories, each one celebrating extraordinary individuals, groups, and homegrown brands who truly make up the true spirit of this city.
So from community champions to rising stars, these are the people shaping Dubai's story in their own unique way. So have you voted yet? If you didn't, don't miss out on being part of Dubai's very first community awards.
Your vote helps shine a light on the people who deserve it. It's going to be super exciting to announce it at the live event, which is happening on September 11th. So you've got until then to vote. Jumping into our next story, someone racked up a 480 grand bill at a Dubai restaurant. Nahate? I'm pronouncing that right. Restaurant in DIFC recently shared an image of a bill and they labelled it casual nights. And in one of those casual nights, someone had spent a grand total of 486,819 dirham and 20 fils. So we're going to run through what that could have bought you. But I just also wanted to look very closely at the bill. But the problem is it's all a bit blurry.
I think they did it on purpose.
You can see expensive brands of like Dom like Bubbly, 21K.
180,000 dirhams.
They've got water on there.
How?
They've got a service fee of 43,000 dirhams.
What?
Because I guess when you've got a table party of a certain size, it's going to be a 10% service fee.
Why do you just have, if you're willing to spend 480,000 dirhams on, if you're willing to spend 400,000 dirham on an evening, on a dinner, why don't you just book a ballroom? It will cost the same.
Sometimes nights
It will
turn
cost
into
the same.
parties, Vass, and you can't stop a party. You can't stop the party.
It will literally cost the same. Just rent a ballroom.
Speaking of what it would literally cost the same as, we've actually done some price comparisons of other things that you get in Dubai for the same amount. So, or in the UAE. So with the same amount, you could get a 2-bed apartment in Sharjah.
Whoa.
Really?
Whoa.
I'm gonna check that. You could have 5,600 gold cappuccinos at Burj Al Arab. Which would you prefer, 5,600 gold cappuccinos or...
I would do so much with this money, by the way.
Well, I'm giving you the options. 80,000 shawarmas.
80,000? Wow. Who calculated this? Someone put so much
Lakshmi.
energy into this. Oh, Lakshmi, well done.
What would you prefer? 80,000 there? Hold on. How much are those shawarmas? Because...
I would invest in property. I pretend like I'm so smart. I know I would spend it all. I won't invest in property. I say that, I'm just trying to sound smart.
If I give you 480K, what would you do?
Okay, I will do everything, okay? I will go on... Everyone's going to south of France for some reason.
I know.
Okay, I would
South of France summer.
I would go
You're
south
welcome.
of France. Inspired by Casey, of course. Take pictures in that castle, in that same road. I don't know, everyone's taking pictures in that same castle, okay?
I think that's the hotel.
Oh, sorry. See, that's why I need the trip.
It's expensive. I stood outside it.
I would buy the Prada shoes of my dreams. I would go to the Abu Dhabi Santorini inspired Anantara hotel.
Okay.
So nice. And I would go...
How are you flying to south of France, by the way? Because you're only on like 100K a year.
10K.
How would you fly?
First class.
Obviously.
Obviously.
You wouldn't go private?
But speaking of milestones and birthdays, happy birthday, Casey. I think you've had the biggest milestone of the year, which is getting proposed to and getting married. I think this picture is the cutest picture I've ever seen. This picture with you and Dale. You look so good.
Thanks,
Happy
guys. Oh, what is this?
To help you with your mornings, you have like 3 cups of coffee. I asked you the other day. You said you had 3 cups of coffee a day. So this will help you with your coffee addiction, okay?
Oh
It's
my
a
God.
picnic style coffee maker.
This is really nice. I was not expecting this. What? Okay.
Oh, you have to unpack it.
Okay, can everyone look away now because I'm going to use my teeth. My dentist, if you're watching.
Oh, is it not? Oh, God. I think you need scissors.
I'm pretty sure I can get it. Okay.
Okay, use the teeth.
It's like ASMR.
rip it.
So,
I feel like I'm just helping with your addiction, you know?
cutie. Okay, so tell me.
So, this is a full pack with coffee beans, coffee grinder.
You shouldn't have.
You're welcome, no, of course. Oh, no, of course.
My coffee addiction.
Just got worse, you know?
I do love coffee. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, when I saw this, I'm like, this is so Casey. Like,
It's got a pine cone.
yeah, it's just giving the picnic vibe.
And I'm telling you, if I go to south of France again, I'll be bringing this basket. It's so super cute. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Should I make one now or after the show?
Maybe you need to do it after the show because it's a bit complicated. It's not very easy.
This is
But you
so
have coffee
fun.
beans. Also have
Vegetable wax scented
candle.
candle.
This is a candle.
What?
It's a full vibe, you know?
Smell that.
I wish it smelled like coffee though. I was expecting it to smell like
It's
coffee.
aroma. I think this is like it's like a calming.
Yeah. You know you know what? Coffee can help with de-stressing. I don't know why people say that caffeine can make you feel more stressed. But I felt like this pack is like so picnicky, so I don't know. It just makes making coffee more exciting.
There's so much going on in this whole box. It's so cute. It's got "Love is eternal" on the side.
I'm your deal.
I love this thing. It's so cute. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So
you have to make your own coffee from now. You know what? No more using machines.
no more using machines.
You have to up your game.
I'm
So
gonna.
instead of 3 cups of coffee, it will turn to 4 cups of coffee.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, it's so cute and open, so you can have after you grind the coffee. This I don't know what they call it, soft coffee.
This I don't know.
Yeah, you can get it from here.
So old school. I've never seen anything like this. Challenge accepted with the coffee. I'll share a video later.
Yeah, you need to.
Maybe you can post me and tag me. I'll reshare.
You share it.
Thank you guys, so cute. It's the 21st of August and it also means around this time of year, my birthday, it was also back to school time, so conflicting emotions. But to help with those conflicting emotions, we've got a Dr. Wafa Saud joining us to talk about easing back to school stress. She'll be with us after this very short break. Very welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guest is Dr. Wafa, a clinical psychologist, child, adolescent, families and psychoeducational specialist at Sage Clinics. With so many parents juggling new routines, school stress and everything in between, Dr. Wafa is here to share practical tips to make that transition smoother for both parents and kids. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning.
So it's back to school season.
It is.
It's hectic mornings, chaotic mornings. Yes. But what are the most common challenges kids face when adjusting to new routines?
Yeah, I think waking up is really hard. I think adjusting to new routines is hard for everyone, not just children.
Yeah.
So I think waking up is a part of the hardest one. And if you can get into a consistent schedule of waking up on time, then the others kind of routine pieces can fall gradually into place a little bit easier. And so some of the tips I do usually give people is start with waking up at the exact same time every day. Be sure to try and be consistent with meal times and going to bed. And when you wake up, try to get outside. I know it's really hot. Try to get outside for a couple minutes in the sun because that helps to kind of boost your system. And then gradually the meal times and bedtime might fall into place a little bit easier. At bedtime, make sure you're dimming the lights. So sunshine morning, dim lights in the evening to start winding down.
We've heard bedtime can be called labeled like negotiation hour.
Yeah.
So because it's bedtime is at 9, so at 8 parents are probably gearing up for the kids. But what are your thoughts on negotiation bribery to make something like this happen in back to school time?
I mean, I'm a fan of rewards. I think when you use rewards well, I mean, you come to work, right? And you wouldn't come to work if it wasn't rewarding.
Yeah,
so I think rewards can be really helpful if used well, but I think it needs to be proactive rather than reactive. So if you're ahead of time, using a contingency, if we can get to bed on time tonight, then tomorrow morning you get to pick your breakfast. Then you're using it in a really planned way. But if you give in last minute and you change a boundary last minute, then you're teaching your child that they can get away with things. And so you really want to be firm. You want to be clear with expectations. And it's okay to use rewards, but you want to do that ahead of time and proactively rather than reactively. So you really want to set firm boundaries. And it's okay to use rewards. That's kind of my perspective.
So you got the child to bed, you wake them up, and it's time to take them to school, okay? Yeah. Some kids may struggle with separation anxiety. Yeah. So what signs should parents look out for a child that may have separation anxiety?
Yeah, sometimes kids will show teariness at drop-off or sort of holding on to the parent's hand. Maybe for the older kids, you might see a lot of somebody who might be usually chatty, maybe getting really quiet. But sometimes you also don't see that and you'll hear complaints about headaches or stomach aches. And they might really be feeling kind of sick and unwell and it manifests in them saying oh, I have a sick tummy or my head kind of hurts or I feel dizzy. So those might be signs that the child is struggling to separate in the morning.
Interesting, because I was a teacher for a short stint and I saw kids coming and being upset, and I also saw parents coming and being upset. So how do you kind of sometimes navigate when, is it ever more the parents than the kids?
I feel like that was a guiding question.
Well, do you see when, because we're kind of leading with kids here, but sometimes it could be more the parents.
Yes, absolutely. It's really tough because parents also get to have a lot of extra time with their children over the summer, and it can feel really magical. And especially if you go away on vacation and you're getting a lot of, special time together, and you're getting to see pieces of them that you don't normally get to see when they're in school. Like you're getting to see the sort of like little wild parts of them. They're running around, they're playing, they're really enjoying, they're connecting with your family if you're visiting family abroad. So you get to see these like little magical pieces of them that you're not going to see as much when the school year starts. And of course, like, you can get attached too, and you might also be returning to work, and it's a change, and so it makes sense that parents also sometimes feel that separation anxiety, and they might be feeling those same symptoms, like that upset stomach, the head, I want to cry, like the tears kind of welling, that feeling of like that like dread feeling of dropping the child off at school. Yeah.
And how can parents help ease a child that has separation anxiety? How can they help them make them feel safer, make them feel happier, make them feel better?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing we need to kind of highlight is that separation anxiety can be really normal, especially after a long summer off from school. And so you want to handle it with confidence because you want to communicate to the child that this is really normal and this is okay and you got this, right? Like, you can handle this. I know you can handle this. So you want to keep those goodbyes brief in the morning. You want to, of course, be really warm and comforting, and at the same time, kind of really boundaried around your own tears. You want to contain your own emotions. I don't often say that. I think emotional expression is really good. And at the same time, sometimes we need to contain, right? So you want to contain your own tears. You want to remind yourself that your child's okay. You're dropping them off at, a place where there's people who can take care of them. And you want to communicate the same to your child. And so when you do that firm, sort of like warm but firm goodbye, you're communicating to them, you're okay. And let's say you do have a child who's younger, a bit anxious about separating, you can also arrange for a handover. So you can arrange for like a teacher to maybe meet them at the door, or for a counselor to meet them at the door. And you're actually communicating to the child in that moment that there's other people in the world that are also good people, right? Because you can think of it as a teachable moment, right? So it's a moment for connection and a moment to teach. So I really do recommend that parents kind of stay calm internally and communicate and express that like confidence in their child to handle that goodbye and that separation.
You mentioned earlier coming back from abroad, and they may have spent time with families, grandparents and granddads abroad. Do you see specific challenges related to Dubai families that other countries may not, in terms of being expats or maybe people coming new to a school from another country?
I do, yeah. I think there's a lot of amazing things about living in Dubai and being a family that's living in Dubai. And one of the unique challenges is that so much of your family is abroad a lot of the times. And so I do see that difficulty in adjusting to being away from cousins and family, because there's just so much comfort that you can sometimes get from family and so much of that feeling of like belonging. Also the parent, right? Like, a lot of the times parents are really stressed out throughout the year with work, and then when they're on vacation seeing their own family members, they're happier and they're more relaxed, and so the child feels that as well, and so they're connecting with their own parent in a different way when they're abroad. And so I do definitely see some of that unique challenge. Also, right now it's really hot in Dubai, and so a lot of kids when they're abroad right now are maybe able to play outside and swim outside and do some water activities. Right now it's a little bit harder to do that in Dubai, so they're not able to get outside, get the sunlight, the vitamin D, and that connection through play that they might get outside with people. So I think that's also a unique challenge.
So school days can be really tough on the child in terms of peer pressure. So how can parents maybe notice signs of maybe potential bullying or peer pressure, or help handle it in any way?
Yeah, it's a really great question. While there's really separation anxiety can be really normal, there's sometimes really good reasons for why children might struggle to get back to school, and one of those can be peer pressures and peer challenges, especially if a child's being bullied. And one of the best ways that parents can spot that is by talking with their child, making sure they're maintaining open lines of communication, asking about the best parts of their day, the hardest parts of their day. What did you do today at lunch? Keeping it really open-ended. What did you do today at lunch? Who did you meet today? Especially if they're kind of transitioning to a new school. And so keeping those open lines of communication can help you spot it. And then ways to handle it. You want to make sure the child knows it's okay to not have perfect friendships. You know, that there will be some challenges in friendships and that we need to kind of be mindful of those and notice those. And sometimes friends make us feel really good and comfortable and sometimes friends don't. And so we want to try and gravitate towards the positive influences, because as much as there might be negative influences and negative peer pressure, there's also a lot of positive kind of peer influences. So you want to teach them about that. What does a positive peer influence look like? Somebody who maybe motivates you to study, maybe somebody who motivates you to try out for a sport, team or a club, somebody who makes you feel good when they sit next to you, somebody who includes you and invites you to parties. So while you do want to help them manage that negative peer pressure, help them learn how to say no, we can role play with them. Like if somebody says this to you, this is what you say back, and directly ask them to kind of role play it with you. At the same time, you also want to teach them what's positive and who to gravitate towards.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you're, maybe if you got kind of 8, 9-year-olds and you can kind of sense that they're upset because the friendship groups are starting, and you can have these conversations, but if at that age your kids are being closed off and they're not open to the conversations that you're having, is there next steps that you would take?
I would, yeah. You know, there's only so much that parents can do, and sometimes even though parents are a really great and safe place for their children, sometimes kids just, for various reasons, have a hard time opening up to their parents. At that point, I would recommend connecting the child with somebody they can open up to. That might be a counselor, or that might be somebody at a clinic, a psychologist at a clinic or a clinician at a clinic. And having that sort of like space where the child can go and speak to somebody who they don't necessarily have to see every single day at home, somebody who's a little bit further removed can make it a little bit easier sometimes for the child to open up. So I would recommend at that point connecting them with somebody who might be able to also help them communicate.
What would be the main reason why the child wouldn't communicate with the parents? Because of out of fear or embarrassment, or are they not having this safe space?
Yeah, it could be a lot of different reasons. It could be out of fear, it could be out of embarrassment, it could be that they don't feel comfortable talking to their parent, maybe they worry about the parent's reaction. It could be they worry about stressing out the parent, so it could be sometimes that parents get really stressed and anxious, so then it's like, well, if I tell my parents this, they're just gonna get more anxious, just gonna make me feel worse. It could be they're worried about how the parent will handle it with the school, like will my mom go and talk to the counselor or to the principal? Or it could be also that it feels so good to be at home that they don't want to taint that with something negative, that their parent is somebody they just want to go to for like, you know, the comfort and kind of connection, and they don't want to taint that with something negative because then they'll have to live with it. Then they'll have to keep talking to their parent about it.
And they'll be asked every day, basically, like, what happened today? Did they even talk to you?
You just want to keep it nice. Let's speak on the pressures a bit that kids might face when they're in school. So exams and getting high marks for one. What's the best way parents can help without causing extra stress? So you want your kids to do well, but you don't want to push them too hard.
Yeah, it's such a tough one to balance. You know, there's so much kind of buzz right now on the word balance that it is really hard, because research shows that actually a little bit of stress is okay. Right? Like having a little bit of stress motivates us. It makes us work harder. It sort of like turns us on. It stimulates us to work harder. But too much stress will then get in the way of sleep, concentration, emotional well-being. So we want to make sure that we are kind of encouraging and setting the right amount of expectations, but not over kind of stressing the child. And so one of the ways to do this is to praise efforts over grades. I know it's really challenging for parents and for schools because I think there's so much emphasis on grades. But if you're kind of really praising efforts, then as a byproduct, the grades can also come, right? But by shifting the focus to effort, you're help to kind of minimize some of that stress and pressure on getting a high grade, while also helping the child feel motivated throughout, rather than it being like, oh, now there's all the stress that's coming on with this exam right now.
Yeah.
Just on exams, because it's actually GCSE Awards Day today, so there's a lot of 18-year-olds getting their results, and there's like some comments coming through on it. So if students are getting results that they're unhappy with, and it's kind of a difficult time in life, would you have any advice on how parents can kind of navigate that?
Oh, that's such a hard one, especially because they've worked so hard to get there. Honestly, I think one of the most important things is to zoom out. that this is one moment in time. It's one exam. You have your whole life ahead of you. It's okay to make mistakes. Failure is redirection. That this isn't going to be the end of everything that you ever wanted to do. I think a lot of times kids think that if they don't get a certain grade, that means they're not going to get into the school that they want to get into, the university they want to get into, they can't do the job that they want to do. And honestly, that's really not true, because there's chances you can make up for things. And even if you can't get into the university that you want, you might get into another university that might actually be better for you. And then you can also kind of move towards what you want to do. There isn't just one path to getting to where you want to go. And I think it's really important that parents remember to kind of help their kids zoom out and not get overly fixated on this one failure. Yeah.
So speaking of, maybe the child learns how to deal with the stress, or doesn't get the result that the parents might not accept. So this is a tip, maybe if you have an advice for students, how to handle those expectations from parents of always getting high scores, high grades, and dealing with disappointed parents if they don't get the grades that the parents are expecting.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I think is really tough about this is that when kids feel like they're disappointing their parents, they feel like a disappointment, right? So then there's this like belief that starts to form, like, I'm a disappointment, I'm not good enough. I think it's really important to separate that my parents feel disappointed because there's something that they wanted from me from I'm a disappointment. Yeah. And I think it's important to remind ourselves that we all have areas of strengths and challenges, that there's things about us that, are so valuable and lovable and great, and that just because somebody's disappointed in us, because they're going to feel that disappointment throughout life. There's going to be other people that are disappointed in them at some point in life. But just because somebody's disappointed in us, that does not mean that we are a disappointment. That doesn't mean that we're not good enough. That's more about my parent or more about the other person kind of feeling like their expectations weren't met, but that doesn't mean that I'm a failure, that I'm not good enough, and that I'm not lovable. And that my parents are also experiencing, they're human, they're experiencing that feeling of disappointment right now because they wanted something specific for me, and they will come around, right? They will come around once they also get over this initial disappointment.
Finally, before you leave us, we learn a lot on this show. We get a lot of mindful techniques, which I love, and they're generally things that you do solo. And I'm just wondering, are there any mindful techniques for younger kids that parents can do with them to kind of practice mindfulness at a young age?
Yeah. So I think mindfulness can look, mindfulness has like a really broad definition, and really, if we think about it really broadly, it's about sort of like being present and just being able to notice without judgment everything that's going on around you. And then there are tools that we can use that help us be more mindful. And the thing that you want to think about with mindfulness is what takes us out of the present moment. So what is it that actually makes it hard for us to be present? Sometimes it's our phone. Sometimes it's past memories and past experiences. Sometimes it's worry about the future. Sometimes it's just like the different distractions that we can get distracted with around us. And so by calming our nervous system and bringing ourselves out of thoughts of the future, out of thoughts of the past, we are then better able to stay a little bit more grounded in the present. So one tool that I like to work with all ages on, because I think it's a really nice one, is imagery, which can help us to kind of stay kind of grounded so that we can come back to the present moment. Imagery is like you imagine a calm, safe space in your mind. You imagine what it looks like. You imagine how it feels. Is the sun shining through? Is it nighttime? Is there wind? Where's the wind hitting you? What's around you? Who's there? Is it just you? What are you hearing? And you help guide them through kind of just doing that little bit of a safe, calm space imagery, which can help to kind of soothe the nervous system so that they can come back into the present moment. So you can do that like on the car on the way to school. You can do it in the morning at home. You can do it together over, your breakfast. You can say, oh, we're all going to do some imagery today if you're doing it with like really young kids. So I think that imagery is a really nice one that can help at any point in time, because you don't need any tools. You can just close your eyes and go into your mind, right? That can help at any time, help you calm down so that you can come back into the present moment.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
If anyone watching today would like to contact you at Sage, how can they do so?
Yeah, I don't have my card on me right now to tell you my exact phone number. I guess I should. But you can look us up online, Sage Clinics. You can contact us directly at our appointments admin line, and they will forward your call to me. I do also do sometimes parents don't know what they're looking for. Sometimes, you know, older teens who are calling in, they're not sure what the process might be. We do 15-minute complimentary introductory calls. They can speak with one of the psychologists on the team, and we can get to know them a little bit better and guide them a little bit around next steps if they'd like as well.
Super helpful. Thank you so much, Dr. Wafa.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vasa.
Thank you, Casey.
And that is the end of the Lovin Dubai show. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.